You can't use your powers, Samantha. You can't.
It's Adam Eve when I'm in costume.
Adam Eve? Where'd you come up with that?
Adam because, duh. Eve because it's my middle name.
Cute.
No, the cape is cute. The name is awesome.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jayme.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about, of all things that just came out on Amazon Prime, Invincible Adam Eve. So that's what it's called. It's just called Adam Eve Special. And it's a one-off episode. And it just launched. They premiered it at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend. We're recording right now, July 25th. But they premiered it there and they released it on Amazon Prime that day as well. So everybody got a chance to watch it, take it in. And we're not getting Invincible until November 3rd, everybody. So it is at the end, pretty much end of the year, as we speculated. Jayme and I, when we last talked about it a few times, mentioned this, and then we kept saying, when's it going to come out? When's it going to come out? We thought it was going to come out in the summer, but they pushed it back probably because they had to do more prep. And now with all the strikes that are going out there with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA, well, this doesn't affect cartoons at this point because even the writers could still write. Apparently Motu is another one. Masters of the Universe is in current production, and that's a completely,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a completely different kind of union that they have, and it's been around for years. The only difference is with those the union for cartoon writers is they don't get all the benefits or anything. They literally just get paid for their material at the time. They don't really pull much of any residuals, if anything. But I would expect more stuff coming out of Warner Brothers as far as DC content. Expect the X-Men 97 to come out on Disney Plus, hopefully sooner than later. And more content as far as when it comes to that, that doesn't even affect voice acting. So that's a good thing. But in a sense, they don't really make as much as it would be for a regular movie. But we have a lot to look forward to as far as when Invincible does come out on November 3rd. But right now, we're going to be covering the Adam Eve special. That is, it's Invincible presents Adam Eve, and that's what it's called. The synopsis is, in this special prequel episode, Samantha Adam Eve Wilkins discovers her superpowers as a young girl and must come to terms with her own sinister origins as she discovers a family she never knew she had.
That covers it.
It covers it. It's kind of vague, not giving away anything much of the story itself, but I'm just glad that they came out with this because this was a character that is of interest by a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
And it's a female character and a female hero. We all know that Mark is smitten with her.
Rightfully so.
And the person who actually voiced Eve in the regular Invincible show is Gillian Jacobs. But in this particular version, it's actually Jaslyn Lone.
We had to do a little bit younger of a voice, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and she's 12. It says Eve, age 12. So I don't think she's 12 years old, but I think the actress is a lot younger than Gillian Jacobs. And we see a lot of the original cast in the very beginning of the movie. Obviously, we see Omni-Man, that is voiced by J.K. Simmons. We get Ross Marquand as Immortal and Aquarius, and he does also another tech voice. We finally get Phil Lamar as Sidekick, and also Salamander, a new addition, which is a new evil person that's out there with their battling in the very beginning. Tatiana Maslany as Queen Lizard. We have somebody new that I'm thinking he's new. I don't remember him from the first season, but Lance Reddick, who does the voice of Erickson. And I'm pretty sure he was in the first season as well, but this is his last of anything. We sadly lost him this past year. It was during the promotion for John Wick 4, which I actually did cover on Adrenaline Cinema podcast with Kat. But yeah, and then we also have Carrie Payton playing Black Samson. He also did The Officer. He was also the Doctor's voice, the one that replaces Brandy Worth, and so many other people. With that, we're going to go right into our initial or overall thoughts of this particular episode. So, Jayme, what did you think of this special prequel episode?
I loved it. I loved being back in this world. I had forgotten how good it was and how rich it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I remembered the violence because that was hard to forget. But yeah. I really, really enjoyed being back in this world. And I liked this story a lot. I thought this was a really cool story. And I liked it as a one-off, too. Like, it fits very well as a one-off.
It was definitely a one-off, and it gave us an insight on Adam Eve, which we never got to know. She was always a girl of mystery, as I like to call her. She always kept at arm's length with Mark at all times, I've noticed. And then she didn't really like to get too close. So I think with this shows a lot of where that comes from. And we do see the issues that she has with her parents, too, because even in the first season, we saw that with her parents. By then, they knew about her powers in the first season. But in this particular prequel, she hides it from them. So we don't get the exact truth of when her powers are shown to them. But I really did enjoy this. I love the whole origin story, how she came to be. Very, very bloody at the very end of the episode, not in the very beginning. The very beginning was very much something that I enjoyed, is like her beginning of her birth and who helped her and what was going on. And then, the whole switcheroo at the hospital. Spoilers. Yeah, she gets the baby swap, gets there. But there's a whole turnaround at the very end of the episode that I will point out, which I highlight. But I thought it was very well written, done very well. A lot of people would think, hey, this is boring in the very beginning. But you know what?
I didn't think it was boring.
A few people that I did speak to, who I know personally, were just like, it didn't really grasp me. After the first 15, 20 minutes, I was just like, I was like, got to give it some time. And when I watched it the second time, I really grew to really appreciate it, because honestly, you want to see more of the hero aspect of it. And of all things, too, there's something in there about Adam Eve herself that I like, that I think Marvel probably stole from a little bit for a character called Miss Marvel. Not Captain Marvel, not Photon. Miss Marvel, the young girl that we got a Disney Plus show from. But I like the fact that she was using discs and stuff to step on and launch as she was learning her powers. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was reminiscent. I'm like, wow, that's Miss Marvel right there. But I thought it was pretty cool. It's like, to point out, one of the things I really did enjoy is her learning about her powers. And to me, that was with her use of her first powers, of her, like, she's forcing herself to study, and then she turns her, whatever book, I think it was a mathematics book, and then she turns it to crystal, and then she wished it to come back, and it turns back.
That was awesome.
And then later on, her mother hands her, of all things, a cream cheese and olive sandwich.
I'm assuming that was not the first time that was given to her.
Yeah, but she said your mother says it's her favorite, but she winds up changing it to a hamburger,
which is the best use of her power in the entire show.
Which kind of makes me question, because the doctor states that she wasn't able to convert anything organic. Like, I guess it meant more about people and anything of that element.
I think living
tissue. So I guess, it's kind of dead tissue at that point. So yeah, she could easily change that. So I loved that point of when they exposed that. The bubble gum, regular bubble gum, flavored to cinnamon flavored. But she shows Val and she gets scared. which costs her her friendship with Val, because I really enjoyed that friendship that they had.
Yeah,
And it shows you how people are not, not used to superpowered people. So it shows that issue of people who are just normal, and then
which
these,
they should be,
they
because
are.
it's not like she was the first one.
No, and I guess this is you're talking suburban America, and they're not going to have somebody out there. It's not
Well,
like
I mean,
it's not like The Boys where they have Compound V.
but I mean, like the episode started with the Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah,
fighting the Lizard League, so it's not like they're not around.
They are around. It's just that it's not so prevalent in regular society, I guess. But the fact that their friendship started off of how she felt weird and strange, and then she met Val, and Val says, "Well, I'm your weird neighbor, so we could be weird together."
Which was adorable.
It was adorable, and it was like, once it was amazing, and I was like, oh, great, she has a good friend. And then next thing you know, after that encounter, she kind of loses contact. She gets kicked out of her private school, which was for gifted kids, because her grades, all she was interested in was in chemistry.
I mean, if you can see molecules, that makes sense.
It does. And she, I loved it for the fact the babysitter loved her for it. It's like, oh, she helped me. I'm going to pass my test. I love that. Because, she basically knew the periodic table, was able to convert all her Legos into different kinds of molecules or what they are for what he needed for his test, and a good visual representation. So
yeah, she was showing all the chemical bonds.
Yeah. So you knew deep down inherently that was within her, and that was her gift. And, how she was able to rattle it off. It's like even the father says, the adoptive father's like, she can't even read. So, and she was a little kid at that time.
He's such an ass.
Yeah. It made me grow to hate him more throughout the episode. Yeah. And I could see why she's very distant with, like, even just with friends. And you could see that, and apparently through the fact of how she lost her friend Val. So yeah. I can understand her distancing herself from people and not getting too close, even though she does, in the first season, we saw her trying to give like a handout to Mark and try to help him in what he was doing. But did you have anything that you liked particularly within the episode that we didn't really speak of yet?
I mean, I liked when it kind of made me not laugh, but it showed the dad for who they really developed the dad as an a-hole quickly. Like, you start out feeling bad for this family because they just lost their baby and they're crying, and then magically your baby woke up all by herself. She's great. And but I mean, like, in that moment of horrible loss, I can see why you'd take it, because that's what you've just been sitting there praying and begging for, was that your baby's okay. And
yeah,
hey, look, your baby's okay. Don't question it, just take the miracle, get it. And he seemed, and even the growing up scenes, like where she was like a toddler and stuff, they showed him like he was a good guy. He was both, like, it seemed like a happy childhood, which she was not going to get in that lab.
Oh, hell no.
And she was not, I mean, if this didn't happen to her, she was not going to have this what looked like a happy childhood. Like, she seemed like a basic, but then when she started being weird, Dad was like, is it, she's not weird, she's smart. Was that the quote?
Yeah.
Like, what a jerk phrase. Like,
yeah. There was a lot of things. I have a few quotes from him. Because what's that name of that for school for weirdos?
Yeah, like, he just turns into this absolute jerk, which I don't know, feels like you need for an origin story. But they did such a good job of quickly developing that in him without bashing it over your head. Like, I feel like the way they did it was really, really well done.
Yeah. What I liked about her character development in it and her portrayal, honestly, is that typical teen girl angst that we get during the show or the episode of, like, especially with the aunt's dress that she was given as a gift, and you could see the look, and I could see that from a lot of girls' perspective. It's like, oh my god, I won't be caught dead wearing this thing, and then she quickly changes it for her own needs.
Yeah,
and obviously it's never been brought up again by the parents. She just wears this top and jeans and sneakers and everything that she made out of the dress. And I thought that was pretty cool. But the fact also is that she still goes out there on her own. She's rebelling against her parents, like staying in the treehouse with her friend Val all day. And it's like, oh, I don't need to. It's like, you said you were only going to be an hour. It was all day. Or her sneaking in at night and her mother catching her, and it was after her first foray into testing her powers outside, especially with the guys who were trying to steal the dogs, and the first encounter with the doctor, with Dr. Brandyworth, of all things, too. But she didn't get much more out of it. But it was her basically testing the waters of her powers. And, because all she did at that point was just make a mask out of, I don't know exactly what it was. I thought it was like just pure energy or something that she just created out of.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Out of air, because she was just laying in bed doing something with her hands, and it's like a small pink tube. And then next thing you know, it turns into a mask and she puts it on her face, but then she just puts on a hoodie and goes out and about. But I just like her gumption, her attitude, but it also reflects what she didn't, when she didn't listen to Brandyworth about not using her powers, and she just kept using her powers, and literally it's like put a mark on her head from the government, and that's how they were able to trace her.
Oh, because, well, one, she feels she has this higher calling, that her life, her life was kind of miserable. I think her mom still did the best she could to love her.
Yeah.
But she felt she had this higher calling, and it turns out she had the kind of every teenager's dream of, I don't want these to be my parents. Oh, look, they're not.
Yeah, and then she realizes that they're not. And then the whole backstory of Brandyworth explaining to how, and you could see that there was a love from him to her real mother, her birth mother. I kind of got that out of the story. And then how he didn't want that for her either, to be growing up in a lab. And
he was breaking them out. Like, he scheduled that lizard group to come to be the distraction so that he could get her out. And then she went into labor and kind of messed it up. But it seems like she would have died in childbirth anyway. So this was the easier way to get the government off her trail.
Yeah, just to hide the death. And it's not something that hasn't been done before in comics or even in like a superhero story arc. It's been done before.
Yeah.
So to me, it's an interesting trope, but it does suit the purpose for her character and her development, I think. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, as much of a quote unquote bratty teenager as she was still a good person at heart, which was like, she was trying to help people. She was trying to do the right thing. When she found out she had siblings, as gross as they are, she still ended up standing up for them.
Yeah. I like her first big battle though with Kilcannon.
Yeah.
Well, and it was while she was trying to find Brandyworth himself. She was going from homeless shelter to homeless shelter, flying all around and marking them off on a map. And then she hears the alarm coming from a jewelry store, and Kilcannon was out there, and he was robbing, and so she tries to stop him, and that's when you could see she actually has her costume, I think, at this point. She created her own costume.
Yeah.
And she gives her own superhero name. But in the end, she does meet up with Brandyworth, and that's when he literally goes over her history and her mother and what had happened, explaining to why he did what he had to do and what happened to her mother, that he didn't know who the father was. She just came in and she was a test subject. And then he gotten to know and explained to her what was done to her mother and how she was able to get all these powers. So, and then later on, which we do see because obviously Erickson has hired in a new doctor and doesn't know how to recreate the same kind of experiment and sends out these mutant kids.
And doesn't put the same, the robot rules into.
Yeah, literally the rules of not changing living organic matter. And that's why Brandyworth had done that. So that way there was kind of not doing something. It's kind of a horrific kind of thing to do to another person or even yourself, I guess. And he kind of infused that, but the new doctor didn't pay attention to those rules, but they were, I said,
I don't know that the government knew that Elias had put that into her.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think because he said, he said, like, I'm not a monster. So I put, I made sure, I knew what I was doing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure he told the government he was doing that. I think it was like a check and balance he put in there himself. Because he wanted
limitations.
If you want to use superheroes as weapons, as the government, you want to use them against, in war against people. So that feels like a dumb rule for the Pentagon to put in place. A very smart rule for Elias, but it's not something. I don't think the government would be down with that.
No, the government just wants something to kill and use it for a militarized weapon, and not even looking at the person as being a person. And I think a lot of that had to do with Brandyworth and how he felt about her and wanting to do that for her, to give her a life, kind of like a balance, if you think about it. And, balance of like doing good for others and not killing. But she finds out during his fight about this whole situation. She finds out they're siblings.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways. We don't really see the total truth till we get back to the lab.
Yeah.
But she finds out because they're falling apart themselves. That's something that was going on, which the new doctor couldn't really fix or resolve. They can only stay out of their tube for so long. One was able to learn how to speak and communicate, while the other three did not. And, they kept saying that we're your brothers or whatever, siblings. And then
they were just so grotesque.
Yeah, and they would just morph their hands, utilize all these abilities during the fight. Now, mind you, the coolest fight I've ever seen so far within the show, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And, it's funny how the mutants they really couldn't handle her. She was coming up with creative means of like trying to stop them. Now, mind you, lassoing the engine and smashing it on one of them, creating a mace at one point, lassoing it like a mace and just smashing it down, and then creating her own body armor at one point too, over her costume. And I thought those were really, really cool because they were more creative. And
she is insanely smart.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the Green Lantern effect. Instead of using a ring, she's like taking this from her own mind and her thoughts and just creating it with her powers. And I really think that's idealistic. It's really cool. The one thing that I acknowledged too, and she did acknowledge during the fight, was that they were causing more destruction and putting other people in harm's way. So she was actually doing the right thing of trying to protect people during that time. She kind of created like a bumper on herself as cars were going over, and then she was trying to stop and help the people during that fight. Whereas the mutants, they just didn't care. They were just out for what their job was supposed to be, which was to stop her and kill her. And then in doing so, they wind up losing their lives too, because they wouldn't have even lasted if they were out there like another hour or two longer. They would have been dying anyway.
Exactly.
So it's a sad thing. And then when they get back, they they get back to the lab, and then that's where everything unfolds. I thought that was pretty cool because they have Brandyworth there. They took him.
Mm-hmm.
And she winds up going there, and there's a whole fight ensuing. I don't know if Erickson lost his memory at one point.
Right.
Because it seemed to me like he couldn't figure out. I was like, what am I doing here? So I don't know if he has brain damage or something from that, but I have no clue. Maybe it's something that he got concussed to the point where he couldn't remember. But yeah, during that fight and that whole altercation, she learns that they had her mother. And then Erickson, in his attempt to keep her at bay, releases her mother from the tube container, which she was literally brain dead.
Yeah, she was just a
vessel,
birthing unit.
A birthing vessel. Yeah, that's how they created her siblings, and that's what we find out, which is so terrible because it's honestly, if you think about it, it's objectifying a woman for what she can do with her body, and that's just horrific in itself. And then on top of that, her mother dies in her arms. And then she gets at least the better end of the whole situation by stopping Erickson, and then leaves and is able to go home. But overall, her reflection is when she does get home, she is literally just so upset because she lost her mother, lost her siblings, as well as Brandyworth.
Yep.
And she has, and what she thought was, what she thinks deep down is her real family, because seeing how her mother and father, mostly her father, treat her. Yeah. And then she takes that picture of the three of them, her adoptive parents, and then changes it over to, you could see Brandyworth, you could see her real mother and the siblings, but they're not mutants. They're regular.
That was so cute. I think phase 2 would have loved that.
Yeah. So I thought that was really, really good. And overall, I thought it was a good ending and overall story about Adam Eve herself.
And the fact that her mom, her adopted mom, the mom she's had for her life, does come to the door to help her and be there for her. Like, she's not, yes, she lost that family. Yes, it's terribly sad, but she is not completely alone. Like, she does still have a mom.
She's got a comforting mother at home, even though her father's a complete asshole.
Her mom might make terrible sandwiches, but she can fix that.
Yeah, I don't know if that kid actually likes those sandwiches. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Hey, kids eat weird things.
They do. That is true. But yeah, that's all I had when it came to the actual episode. Obviously, I think we broke down like a whole hour episode in less than a half hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it's fight scenes, so unless you're going through every punch, you're gonna
exactly. But the fight scenes were very good, and I did enjoy them.
Really good. Yeah.
The funny thing is with the guys, the robbers for the dogs, she converts their masks from fabric to they're like rocks.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny and cool. But yeah, and I just love the whole heart wrenching part of it too. It's like it shows that even a cartoon like this or animated show could actually pull those heartstrings and then make you feel for the character itself. So to me, I think a lot of that, and when we covered Invincible season 1, it was very much the same thing with Mark's struggle with his own father. And get like a precursor to that because we get, obviously at the very end, we get Omni-Man coming back and he sees his wife and she goes, "Oh, how was the day?" "Oh, nothing much," and blah, blah, blah. And the talk about how Mark hasn't gotten his powers yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that made a big deal about.
And you could see the look on Omni-Man's face too. It's like,
Yeah.
because his mother, the way that Sandra, or Debbie Grayson states that, "Oh, well, if he doesn't get his powers, then he doesn't get his powers, and he's our son." And the look on Omni-Man's face as that horrendous look of like, that cannot happen.
Yeah.
Because that's what his point was there. It was to procreate and create another Viltrumite, like from that alien race. And then they were to destroy that Earth or that planet, because that's what they are sent out to do. But yeah, that ending scene was kind of creepy, but obviously it's prepping us for season 2.
Right. Because season 1 started out with us thinking, hey, what a cute little daddy father-son team. And then,
at the very end, it's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Especially when he shoves Mark's face all the way through all these train cars, smashing into people and blood splattering. If we all remember that.
I don't know how you could forget that.
I couldn't forget that. But yeah, that's all I had for top thoughts and notes that I had. Because I kind of interwove what I had. But if you had any other notes that you wanted to bring up, we could do that.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about basically the whole episode. We hit all the big points.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when she had her costume and he was like, "That's a cute name." She's like, "No, the cape is cute. The name is great, or the name is awesome." Yeah. It's like, you stand up for her yourself. Like, I love her character. I've always loved her character. I think she's the most caring of all the characters we've met in this show.
Mm-hmm.
She's the most genuine. She knows who she is. She's true to who she is.
Yeah.
And it's just, this show proved it.
Yeah, it did.
It's just, I loved it. I love that scene. I think that was my favorite tiny little moment where
that little quote.
Yeah.
I have one from the robbers for the dogs, which is so funny. He goes, "Dude, I think that's a Powerpuff Girl."
Yeah, I cracked up with that one. And that would have been right about the time when the Powerpuff Girls were popular, or had just stopped being popular.
Probably. The one thing call that she gets from what's his name? Kill Cannon. She goes, "Nice soap patch, bro. It makes it extra punchable." Mind you, she gets the really bad end of the stick when she has to fight her mutant siblings, because she was really a bloody mess.
Ooh,
I was waiting
yeah.
literally for her to fly back home and still have her face all puffy and bloody from the battle. But we didn't see that. Apparently she was able to heal up fast. I don't know. But
or just TV magic a little bit.
TV magic, probably.
We're not going to look at it too hard.
Nah. But yeah, well, I think that's our coverage for this particular episode. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new season. This is a good little appetizer before we got to it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I didn't advertise this, ladies and gentlemen that are out there listening. Sorry, I didn't put this out because it was kind of soon. Yeah, and of all things, we have yet to actually record for Secret Invasions episode, I think 5 and 6. So we're gonna do them combined this week as well. So this
I
one
still
will
haven't
probably
watched
come
that.
out.
So
yeah, this episode will be out before we actually do that. It's just a matter of scheduling. We've had issues. Steve couldn't make it one night, and then he wasn't feeling up to it, and that was fine. Rob just got his job back, so he's been having a hard time. We haven't even recorded for, of all things, Fantasy Picks Movie Edition yet, and we were supposed to do a Star Wars movie that we could fix and I'm forgetting which one because I didn't do my homework yet. So that tells you I think we postponed it for this Thursday. But to give a little bit of podcast love out there in the podcast world, things that we're listening to, our friends that are out there that are podcasting. Well, The Cast of Us, which is the formerly the Walking Dead cast, but is the Cast of Us for The Last of Us. But they continue on doing. They just finished up with Dead City, so they covered Dead City, which was Domus Mo, episode 6. But just out today, they covered Barbie,
which I haven't seen yet. I only saw the Oppenheimer part of Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer? I have not seen either yet. That I'm actually very interested in Oppenheimer. I think I'll check out Barbie when it comes to streaming. I'm not really going to rush out to the theaters to go see it.
I had no interest in Barbie. For everybody who was excited about, I was just never a Barbie kid.
Yeah.
For everybody who was excited about it, I was very happy for them. I just had no interest in it. And then watching other movies, I was seeing like the trailers and stuff, and I'm like, this actually looks fun. So I might.
That's the only reason why I would watch it on streaming. To me, I'm pretty sure there's gonna have those like Ken doll references, like how they're not anatomically correct or something like that. It's gonna come up. I think the creator, somebody represents the creator of Barbie in the movie itself as well.
Yeah, from what I've heard, there's like a section where they're in Barbie land where they're being played with by kids.
Okay.
So they're acting,
it's kind of like a Lego movie.
Yeah, and then she ends up in the real world.
Ah, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm going to watch it. Oppenheimer was what I watched because that one was more intriguing and I loved it. So that's my recommendation, is go see it if you got a chance.
I believe that Ben and Kristen will be covering that, I'm thinking, but it's going to be a Wilhelm and Podcastka combination because they're going to do Barbenheimer.
Yes.
Whatever it is. So
yeah, Barbenheimer is going to see both of them. I love how many people went to see both of them this past weekend. Like, it's just awesome.
Well,
and I live by a movie theater. And we drove past it a few times this weekend. And every time we drove past, there were people like all decked out in pink. Like, I know what they're going to see.
I saw a lot of that because where I work at a big box store and I do all the retail. So, like I do the in-home services. But when we got back with the truck, my buddy's like, what are they all seeing? I said, probably Barbie and Oppenheimer.
I love that. Like people are getting dressed up for movies. Like that's a cool thing.
That's like, let's cosplay when we go see this movie. It's like when people bring their lightsabers to a Star Wars movie at times.
I love it. It's fun.
To give out a little bit more for podcasting love, Run for Your Lives. They just covered The Blob from 1988.
Guess what we didn't go to again this year?
Yes, Blobfest. But I was out too. Actually, during that time, I realized it's like that was like the last week I was out with workman's comp. So I wasn't able to. I was going to doctors. It sucked.
I was doing my lightsaber guild stuff that weekend, so I wasn't home either.
Nah. Well, what would not kill a Frost? Oh, it's like make a plan, execute the plan, and then throw out the plan halfway through.
Yeah. So we'll try again next year.
That would be a Captain Cold reference to everybody from the CW, The Flash, from one of my favorite actors out there too, Wentworth Miller. But yeah, you could actually check out Daphne and Paik and their coverage for The Blob for 1988. So that's something to look out for. TV Podcast Industries will be covering just the same as us with Secret Invasion as well as Adam Eve. So if you want to get another different perspective view of the episode or the prequel, do so. Check them out. They're very good. I love what Derek and his crew have to say and think about the same stuff that we do. And this is where I like to say, where else could listeners hear us? So Jayme, obviously we did season 1 of Invincible. We did this right now. We are going to be covering, because it was in production. I don't know if they finished. What is the other thing that we have done for Podcastka?
We have done Sandman.
And there's images up.
They were filming.
filming.
They were filming season 2 when the writer's strike started. So
Yep.
I think we're going to be postponed on that one.
Yeah, but we will be back for that. But you could also hear Jayme on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, where you also could hear me. We covered Big Trouble in Little China. That will be out, obviously, by the time this comes out, or before, because I'm in the middle of editing it right now. So you'll have that in your ears. But I owe it to Jayme that we have to do another movie. So we're probably going to do a Friday the 13th film, or whatever she chooses. So we'll come up with something.
Think about what I want to do.
So you could also hear there on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, as well as like we said, Sandman Cast. So if you haven't watched Netflix's Sandman, do
it. It's so good.
And then just listen to our podcast on Podcast, and you can check it out there. Like I said, you could hear me on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast as well, or on Fantasy Picks Movie Edition when more material comes out. Plus, every once in a while, when I make an appearance on Podcast with whatever's when I'm asked, which is pretty cool.
Pop in, I'll show up places where I'm asked to.
Yep.
Nobody's been asking me recently except you, and that's okay.
Yeah, well, you're a mommy. You have a lot to do too. So, and trying to find the time to do this is hard, and I understand that. But
it's always fun. I always like doing it.
Yeah. But, well, news-wise, San Diego Comic-Con just came and went. If you guys or listeners haven't checked it out, they have numerous amounts of YouTubers that went there to follow around, based upon the SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild strikes that are going on. Actors are not allowed to go. Only specific, authorized, I guess, panels were allowed, but not many were there for media when it came to that. But I think San Diego actually turned back to its roots, and a lot of the comic artists and writers were spotlighted this year, and I got to watch a lot of it online, and I was very happy with some of the panels I got to watch of what's coming out in Marvel, Image, all that good stuff. Of all people that were able to show their movie was somebody that I'm hoping to see at the end of August for my birthday, and that would be Kevin Smith and Mark Menardin. But Mark Menardin was able to play his independent film Splinter.
Oh, because you didn't use SAG.
Yep. Yeah. And Trisha Helfer was there to help him out. David Das Malchian was there to moderate said panel and watch. It was a full house. I got to see it privately at Smodcastle Cinemas. So I got to see that one night when I went to go see Fat Man Beyond. And I was tweeting out to Kevin Smith because my birthday's at the end of August. And I'm like, what do I want to do? Which show should I go to? And he didn't get back to me. So I made a decision. So I'm going to go see the taping of Fat Man Beyond at Smodcastle Cinemas. And
nice.
I get a message after that. And he goes, well, there's also something else, Mark, that you could watch after Fat Man on Batman. Fat Man Beyond, not Fat Man on Batman anymore. But he stated in a direct message saying, you can watch the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. So he got a copy of it. So he's playing it that night after Fat Man Beyond.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a nice, good birthday gift. But I'm not sure if I really want to see that many bat nipples on me in the theater. But I was told there's a lot. There's almost 12 minutes of extra footage that we've never seen before. And I don't know if it'd make the movie any better, but I'm curious. So yeah. I'll stay the extra couple of hours to watch that night. He did suggest that I stay and hang around the next day to watch Keep On and Curry On, Keep Calm and Curry On, which is what Mark's going to be hosting the following night. But our friend Ben Beck would love it for the fact that they're going to be playing Clue in the theater.
Oh, I love Clue.
And then Legend, both
Ooh.
featuring Tim Curry. And that's the funniest thing, because that's why they say keep calm and curry on. So it's all about Tim Curry movies, but they couldn't really figure out a third movie. I made the joke.
How could they not figure out a third movie with Tim Curry?
But they refused to play Home Alone 2.
Oh, God.
We were all chanting. It's like, oh, Home Alone 2. He goes, yeah, we don't want to do that because of that one guy that's in it. I was like,
that's
Rocky
fair.
Horror.
Yeah, Rocky Horror.
There's so many. That was a miniseries.
That's going to take a bit longer, but
well, not that Kevin hasn't done that before. He's done an all-nighter at that cinema.
Right.
Yeah, he did a whole night of Clerks, but yeah, that's a cheap pop and plug for Smodcastle Cinemas out there too. If you want to check, they are playing older movies. A lot of the new movies, obviously Flash got pulled after like 2 weeks. So with the advent of like the strikes and everything else, whatever movies that are coming out, they'll still play, but they have these special events where you could see older movies, and apparently that's very popular. A lot of people want to see these older movies in these theaters, and when you get a cool commentary at the very end or panel that Kevin likes to do or Mark likes to do or whoever, I hear that he's going to be doing Chasing Amy at a later point and have Joey Lord and Adams there. So he has these special events. So all you have to do is go to smodcastlecinemas.com, check out their schedule. Keep in mind the specific ones that are Clerks related or View Askew Universe related with special guests will sell out fast. Yeah. So get your tickets while they're last. So that's a cheap plug for Kevin and Ernie O'Donnell out there for Smodcastle Cinemas.
And I will say, even if you've seen a movie 100 times, if you've never seen it on the big screen, it just hits different. Like I did a Bruce Campbell thing, and they played Evil Dead at the end and I'd never seen Evil Dead on the big screen, and it just hits entirely differently. And I've seen that movie 100 times.
Yeah, and you're there also with an audience too.
Yeah.
So you get the feel of being with the audience and then embracing the movie like you've never done before. Because usually you're at home, your family, or by yourself like me, you just watch the movie over and over again, and you could just quote it, and then you don't have somebody tapping and going, hey, stop it. Stop saying the dialogue as it's happening. But yeah, it's a cool thing, and I suggest that. And obviously go out there and support the theaters too, because obviously, they need to make money as well. I'm not talking about the film business. I'm not talking of big corporations. I'm talking about the actual theater owners and everybody. They still need to be in business because they got hit hard during the pandemic. But
yeah, we had a few theaters around here closed down.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard. They actually, of all things, Jayme, they closed down the Hyde Park Drive-In.
No.
Yes, I know that you lived in that area and you've gone there probably so many times. They had to close it. Nobody did. The owners that took over Overlook, which it was the same family that owned Overlook Drive-In and Hyde Park Drive-In. I guess they didn't want to put in the bid because it's part of the township, and they're going to tear it down and use it for something because nobody wanted to purchase it.
Oh, that's
even
sad.
though Hyde Park was a smaller drive-in, but it was the original drive-in in that area. So it's sad to go. I've seen so many movies there, and I have good memories of seeing that.
Yeah, the drive-in I grew up with is now a Quick Check.
But this is the time of the year where drive-ins come. It's very important, and you get to have fun. You could have a barbecue and make it a day event.
Yeah.
Before the actual movie theater. So I highly recommend drive-ins out there. Before we end this, I just want to let everybody know how to submit your feedback. So we could be heard on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, or whatever podcast player of choice that you use. If ratings are available, please do so. Give us a rating or review. preferably Apple Podcasts, because that's the most highly regarded one, and a lot of people use that for their search. So if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. You could go to our Facebook group. Usually I post something, an image with saying, please put your comment down below. For this one, I didn't do that. Secret Invasion, I'll be doing that tonight before I go to bed, because it's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday. So we will definitely be recording this weekend, probably Friday or Saturday. We'll have that up. So the 2 episodes. So we're going to get 5 and 6 out to you. 5 was actually a shorter episode, so that we'll do one big episode and comment about it, because it flows right into 6, from what I'm told. So basically, all you have to do is go to our Facebook group, which would be facebook.com/panels to pixels. We are on Twitter. I have to link them, so when
It's
I actually
called X. It's not Twitter anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Elon switched it to X.
Well, all right. Interesting. I did not know. And I'm in the know. So you could check us out on X. and it's at panels 2 pixels, panels, the number 2 and pixels. You could email us. That's the best way to do it. Honestly, just send out a regular texted email to us, and you could send that to panels2pixels1@gmail.com. That's panels 2 is spelled out TO, pixels and the number 1@gmail.com. Just write out your thoughts. We'll read them on the podcast. Doesn't necessarily have to be about this particular episode or anything that's coming up, or it could be something from the past that we've covered before. Yep. Just tell us what you thought, and we'll read them and we'll comment about it. Or if you really like, you can easily record yourself. We have all these cool devices now. There's smartphones and things of that nature. You just record yourself, and then with that, you can just add it as an attachment. We could pop it into the podcast as we're recording and comment as we go along. So you could also be part of the podcast. We've been getting a lot of views on YouTube, so a lot of people are utilizing that. I put it as a podcast playlist, so that's been getting seen more and more. So awesome. all you have to do is search for Panels to Pixels podcast. While you're there, subscribe if you like what's going on. We occasionally do interviews, so you could actually see my ugly mug and then whoever I'm interviewing, and we could talk, and then you see a video whenever we do that. Hit the subscribe button, give us the thumbs up on the whatever episode that you liked, and then hit the bell to be alerted for anything that's coming up. Like I said, The Flash came out, so we were I dropped it right around the time that it came out on streaming, so it's perfect. So if you didn't go to the theater, you could easily get that on Vudu. I think you could get it on iTunes as well, and it'll be out on Blu-ray at the end of the week. I believe it's August 29th it's coming out. So not August 29th, July 29th. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's much sooner than August 29th.
That is much sooner. Yeah, no, Guardians of the Galaxy is actually coming out, I believe, at the end of August on Blu-ray too. So,
that was so good.
Yeah, that was so good. But yeah, you could check us out on YouTube and go there and actually leave comments. We've gotten comments before. We can be found on Instagram at Panels to Pixels Podcast, spelled out completely. So there you go.
Now it's time for you to get Threads. Round it all out.
Yeah, well, I need to do a lot of links because I know with Instagram and Facebook you can link it, so when you drop it on one, it does in both.
I think Threads does the same, because Threads is part of Instagram.
Yeah, I have to do that, and I have to deal with this whole meta thing. One day I'll have it all set up. Steve at one point was in control of Instagram, but I realized with Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, I was like, oh, wait, they're connected. And it drops it on both. It's like one-stop shop. Now, if only that could work with X, but I don't think that's going to work. But I know a lot of friends and a lot of celebrities that are out there are dropping X, or formerly Twitter. Yeah. So I don't know if we'll keep that up, because I don't really get that much. Not many people view it, so we might just dismiss that and then keep things as they are. So But with that, that's our episode. And I just want to thank Jayme for being on.
Thanks for having me.
And I'd like to thank all the listeners out there who are listening. Same podcast, different panel, different pixel. And this was Panels to Pixels podcast. And we'll see you on the next panel. I'm Mark.
I'm Jayme.
Good night.
Good night.
And I think I did that backwards, but who cares?
What's whatever.
All right, we're leaving that in.
Yep.